You enjoy that sandwich, bro. You had a hard-working weekend. You deserve to take a load off and eat a Wendy's chicken sandwich. Right.
You're right. Do your thing, boys. Do your thing.
I got to do it from memory because I didn't even know I was calling in until you yelled at me and said I'm in the middle of a show, quit bugging me. So I think the number to call in for those listening is 1-724-444-7444, and then you wait and you hit the passcode, which is 30273, followed by the pound sign. Basically, just call the initial number I told you, and there's instructions from that point on. The chat room is alive and kicking at WZROnline.com/chat. That's the way you can get in touch with us here. Apparently, the chat's loving me right now, and I just want to say I love each and every one of you right back for some cheap pops. But
cheap love.
Jose,
cheap love.
Jose, I have no idea where we are on the show. I don't know what to talk about because you might have already talked about it, but I will. Do you follow MMA, Mr. Rivera?
Actually, unfortunately, I'm not like a humongous fan of it, but I certainly do respect it. And when I do get a chance, like I explained to you before, I don't mind seeing two guys freaking destroying each other inside of a cage. There ain't nothing wrong with that.
Now let me ask you this question: do you know the name Chuck Liddell?
Heard of it.
Wow, you've only heard of it. I thought for sure you'd at least know that one. All right, well, anyways, this Saturday on Showtime, it'll be the Strikeforce show, which is basically the old Elite XC company bought out by Strikeforce, and they took over the Showtime time slot. The main event will be a guy who was at WrestleMania 25, no less, sitting next to Mr. Mickey Rourke. It'll be the brother of Ken Shamrock, Frank Shamrock.
Heard of him. I heard of him.
Yeah, you've heard of him. Frank Shamrock versus Nick Diaz will be the main event. Also on the card, we'll have Gilbert Melendez. He'll be fighting Rodrigo Dam. He's a late replacement for Josh Thompson. A lot of good matches on that show, but the big show coming up is not this Saturday, but the following Saturday. It'll be April 18th in Montreal, Canada, and it will be Anderson Silva defending the middleweight title versus Tally's Ladies, and the undercard main event will be Chuck Liddell versus Shogun. So there's a bunch of good fights on that card, but I won't bore the wrestling audience with my MMA babble because it seems like I got it on my side.
Hey, let me jump in. I'm still here, man. I'm eating, but I'm still here. Let me just jump in. Frank Shamrock versus Nate Diaz is oh man, that is a fight that if you guys are an MMA fan, you do not want to miss that fight. Who you got in that anyway, Frank, or you got Nate, right?
It's Nick for the third time. Diaz. Nick Diaz.
What's Nick? My bad. Is it Nick?
Yeah, Nate's UFC. Nick is not UFC. So.
Oh, I thought it was Frank versus Nate. So it's Frank versus Nick.
They announced they switched it up. You know how it was Diego Sanchez versus Joe Stevenson recently, and Clay Guida versus Nate Diaz, which you marked out for because we were there live. They're switching it up.
That's right. Because Nate's in UFC. So where's the Shamrock versus Nick is going to air? What, on Strikeforce? Is that on CBS?
Yeah. Strikeforce, it'll be on Showtime. It'll be this Saturday. It'll be Frank Shamrock versus Nick Diaz in the main event. Also fighting will be Gilbert Melendez. A bunch of other names you would know. But as I was saying about Nate Diaz, he'll be fighting on the Ultimate Fighter 9 season finale, the live finale, which is like a UFC fight night. It'll be Nate Diaz versus Joe Daddy Stevenson. We'll also have a fight I'm sure you're looking forward to, Diego Sanchez versus your favorite, Clay Guida. Yeah. And then the finals of the Ultimate Fighter tournament. So that card's shaping up really nicely.
Wait, it was Clay Guida and who did you say? Oh, Diego Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I know who you're going with, too. You're going with Diego, huh?
Like I told you, they have almost the exact same fighting style. They rely on wrestling. They rely on conditioning. They rely on just bullying you. And I think, I know Diego's a physically bigger guy. He's more experienced. He's had fights against better opposition, and he's got a better record, so I would say he's going to take that one. But it's definitely not a gimme, you know what I mean? I see Diego winning.
Yeah, I love Clay Guida, man. I mean, he comes out, he's a freaking animal, you know what I mean?
His entrances are cool as shit. You were there, UFC MGM Grand. How awesome was that?
Oh, dude, that was awesome. That was actually the only fight that I won money off. I lost the other fights that we bet on, but I went with Guida over Diaz and won some money off that. That was about it, man. I lost everything else. The slots, lost. But I did win.
Yeah, but you had the odds, but that's the cool thing. You had the odds with you because you bet against the odds, which means you picked a fight that nobody else was picking, and you won it. And that's the mark. That's the true mark of a good gambler.
I would say it wasn't big because I think I threw down. What I do? I only threw down like $30 or $40, but I won like 110 or 120 or something like that. You know what I mean? So it was like double or triple or quadruple the money that I put down. So that was all right. I mean, that was cool.
It was definitely a smart bet. You took a risky bet, not a risky bet, but a smart bet. You took a smart bet based on all the odds right there. So.
Yeah, not bad, not bad. Hey, let's. I mean, people in the chat room, they get pissed whenever we talk about it. We gotta do. You know what? We gotta do.
I was done.
No, I know.
I know. That you came in and wanted to keep going about MMA.
Well, we got to do I want to do we should do a 3-hour show. You're still able to work with me, right? I mean, I'm on the radio show, right?
I'm chilling. It's up to Jose, man.
No. I mean for a third hour. I mean, Jose would be here for 2 hours, but some night we're going to do a third hour where me and you will just do an MMA like we used to.
Yeah.
I mean, no, because you work for the competition, but you still, I mean, you're able to come on here and do something.
You say that about the competition. I haven't mentioned them once, only you have, and I'm here to talk about MMA when I do a third hour, not wrestling. So if you have me on for a third hour, I'd consider it a great compliment, a great honor, and I'd love to appear on your fine internet talk program.
And I'll tell you what, we're doing a draft special next week, my fine internet radio program, this guy. We're doing a live special next Monday night, right? 6 o'clock Eastern time. It's for the WWE draft, because we've got the big 3-hour draft special next week. So we're going to do that. And then we're doing back-to-back shows again, dude, 2 weeks in a row here. But what I'm saying is next Tuesday night, we've got, you said we got Strikeforce this weekend. Big fights going on this weekend. How about next week? Let's do it, man. Tuesday night. All right, so we'll do a Monday night. We'll do 6 to 8. See, I break this stuff to you guys live. I don't ask you before we go on the air. Nothing. I just break it live. But whatever. Next Monday we'll do a 6 Eastern time draft special. But next Tuesday we'll do 7 to 9. Me and Jose. We'll do our normal WWE TNA Raw talk. Post draft talk, and then we'll have Matt Boone up here for hour number 3 at 9 o'clock, and we'll do some MMA next week. Sound good? All right, let's do it. All right, it's on then. We're good to go. So we got about a 2-hour special next Monday night prior to Raw, and then Tuesday we're gonna do a 3-hour special next week. Wow, wow, man, what am I getting myself into? You
better get yourself into more Wendy's.
You're overbooking yourself, and there's only so many times you can go to Wendy's to burn some time during the air. Is
there like a Home Depot around you or something?
Yeah, you got to hope for a long line next time in the drive-thru, because 3-hour show, at the bench you're going to burn 30 hours going to get some chicken. You know what I mean? So.
How about Walmart? Can we send you to Walmart?
Yeah, there you go. They've always got lines. But real quick, I know you guys already talked about Raw. At least I assume you had. Can we agree that it wasn't a good post-WrestleMania edition of Raw? Can we agree on that? Or?
Oh, dude. I actually, you know what? We didn't do usually we give it the school letter grade, A, B, C, D, F. That was not good. Let me just ask you, because I asked Jose Boone, the first 2 matches last night, the Lumberjack match and the Divas match, something it wasn't clicking. I mean, Melina and Gail Kim, when they were in there together, it looked like botch spot after botch spot. Maybe it's me over-analyzing or something like that.
No.
No?
You're right. Yeah, it was bad. It was a bad choice for a match order, too. Just like WrestleMania. I even said it to you during the show, mainly because I was pissed because I was doing play-by-play. And for a 4-hour show that has no commercials, you want something to give you a little bit of a break to take a piss, grab a bite to eat, whatever. We have one match, which was a great match, Money in the Bank to open the show. Well, let me back up even further than that. We had the Pussycat Doll chick sing the God Bless America. Then we had the Money in the Bank. Then we had Kid Rock do 4 songs. So at that point of the show, we had 5 songs and 1 match.
You're right. I didn't even think about that. Kid Rock should have been. Kid Rock should have been on. I don't know. Maybe right before the main event. Hype the crowd up before the main event.
Or in the middle somewhere. It's usually an intermission to get charge your batteries back up, get ready for the second half.
You'll get like a gimmick match before. You get a big match, a gimmick match, and then big match again.
Yeah.
But we didn't see that. We saw the old school tradition of your triple main event or your double main event, and that's kind of what they decided to go on. But you're right, though. It kind of lost that flavor of opening match, ladder match, awesome. And you throw Kid Rock in, which is obviously to help him promote his album, and
then you go straight into the Diva Battle Royal, which is another thing they could have squeezed in between the main events to let the crowd come down a little bit so that they could come back up for Triple H Orton, which they desperately needed, as we found out.
And the Undertaker and Shawn Michaels definitely should have ended the show.
Absolutely. Even going into it, Ryan was arguing with me, saying that should be the last match. And I'm like, no. It should be Triple H and Orton. That's